Yo, what's going on, everybody? Keep almost in full color, and today we got the big one. We got the Marvels Avengers review. I play this on the PS4, and without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, you know where I like to start is with the visuals, and it's weird. I feel like when I spoke to this in the Final Fantasy VII review, it was moments of flaws. You saw these flaws within the environments, and they were moments. They were specks, really, in the grand scheme of things. However, I did speak to, like it being a deterrent from how beautiful Final Fantasy VII looked. Avengers looks really good when it wants to, and it's only when it wants to. It's really weird. It's like, I want to look really good right now. And you're like, wow, this looks really great. And then you get into, I don't, it's a chameleon. It's a chameleon. It's that girl who puts on a ton of makeup. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but it's that girl who puts on a ton of makeup, and then when that makeup comes off, it's a totally different person. That is what this is. It looks really good until it doesn't look good. Not to say that girls who put on tons of makeup do not look good after the makeup comes off. Come on, y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Let's get back to it, okay? It looks really good and then it doesn't. So I don't know what to call it. It's really weird. I love it when it looks good, but when it doesn't look good, it's just like, eh. And this happens like, I mean, you could probably catch it like every 10 minutes or so of the game where you're like, what the hell is that? Are those supposed to be buildings? What is going on? Now, I know a lot of people have mentioned bugs and things that they've seen. And for me, I don't know to categorize it as a bug or what, but like some people's outfits look trash. Like when you would see them in certain environments, but then, in cutscenes, it would look much better. I don't know if that was just a bug, things not rendering in, or what. I've had several of them. I'll mention more later, but ultimately, I just don't know what to do. It's so weird and it's so commonplace. It's not, a rare occurrence in this game. It's very commonplace. So I don't know what to do with these visuals and how to feel about them, to be honest with you. This is a negative feeling overall, but I don't know how negative on the scale of negativity I am going with this. So yeah, just look, I'm at a loss. We'll call visuals at a loss. I want to touch on a brighter point now because I want to get out of this funk I'm in. And I want to talk about the sound. The sound is amazing. Funny enough, there are now Marvel's Avengers is considered pop culture at this. It's a part of pop culture, if you will, at this moment. And so there are a lot of pop culture songs that exist within the game. So it's actually pretty cool. Those kind of like, but it moves in seamlessly with the actual game music. So really nice touches on that front to kind of give you some a connection to like our world and theirs. So I really enjoyed that. Also, I want to say that when we talk about Avengers, when we talk about Iron Man, we talk about Thor, and we talk about Cap, we're talking about very iconic characters. And they got very established individuals to come and represent these characters. We had Nolan North as Iron Man, Jeff Shine as Captain America. We had Black Widow as Lauren Bailey. So Travis William as Thor. We have a lot of great voice actors doing this, and I know that a lot of times on paper we say, oh, this looks good, but how's it translate? And it translates really well. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get this moving, touching, epic voice acting of like Last of Us 2, but also you do have to realize that this isn't that field. Like this is, cheesy one-liners from time to time. This is, kick-ass territory. We're not in, fight for our lives territory. This is, we're out to, kick ass and take names. And that's what the Avengers do. And the sound is highly representative of that, from, Iron Man's repulsors going off to the Hulk being pure destruction. From there, I do want to get into the story, and I actually want to segue first and foremost. Miss Sandra Saad, you killed as Kamala Khan. You really did. Now, some people say rightfully so. I don't know, but I think that you killed as Kamala Khan. You are amazing and possibly the shining star of all of this for me. When it comes down to the story, it's really delivered through Kamala Khan, and from that kind of point of view, a little for a good bit. Kamala Khan is the engine for all of this. You know, although the Avengers are there, Kamala Khan is used as the vehicle to get you to the Avengers, to get you to see different sides of the Avengers. So I really, really like that vehicle. I really, really like the way that they did all of that. I thought it was dope. It was great. The villain is dope. In terms of the MCU, we probably won't see this villain, and I'm not gonna speak to who the villain is because I don't want to. I try to keep it sober, or I try to keep it spoiler free. We really won't see this villain at all. So I thought it was really. We will see him, but I don't think that we'll see him in the respect that we see him in this. So ultimately, I like the villain pick. I like that he's front and center, and I liked everything about it. Now, I will say, as we segue into gameplay, that the story isn't exactly long. When you play this, you'll notice when you see that campaign percent, you'll notice like, hold on, I'm this far into it. I feel like I shouldn't be, but yeah, no, there are side quests to do, but ultimately, those side quests oftentimes will have you will say on there, that basically, hey, you should be at this power level to go into this mission. So, you need to go grind out other things and do other things. And now we come to the beautiful tragedy. Well, I guess we'll talk about the beauty first. The beautiful part about this game is the combat. The combat is great. Every character does have their own flow. They have their own style, and there are some overlapping things between all characters. I feel like between the Hulkbuster and the Hulk, you kind of do get some similar gameplay, but you do get some nice throwbacks, from the super punch, as I'll call it, from the Hulkbuster. So there are very unique skills to that, but ultimately it kind of just seems like you are similar to the Hulk, just thrashing about and just throwing your arms and feet around. The same thing with Kamala Khan when she goes into embiggen mode. It does feel Hulkish in terms of, I could just, mash square and everything around me is just gonna die. Now the Hulk, on the other hand, like he's just, not that you can just mash square with him, but I mean he's just pure destruction, and it's quite fun actually. Moving on from there, like I said, every character does have their own style, and I think when you get through your skill trees and you start really progressing through your skill trees, it's then that I feel like you will truly be able to appreciate each character's style, that you'll truly be able to really spec out not only with your skill trees, but you do get gear. And that gear, I mean, you can really, farm for gear that helps you spec into, if you're Iron Man, I want my lasers to be on point because them lasers are ridiculous. They're really great for crowd control. So, hey, I really want to be, on point when it comes to crowd control, and there's like, 20 ads coming my way. I just want to be able to wipe them easy. Those lasers are a good thing. Rockets are good for burst damage, that type of thing. So, if you're looking for something that has this RPG element and you get to play as the Avengers, I mean, this might be for you. There's a lot to it. The combos that exist, there is some type of, square, square, triangle, 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 square, square, does something different. There are a lot of pretty neat combos that you can pull off and that they're character specific. So I really like that. It seems like a lot of effort was put into the combat side of town. Every character has their own type of movement. Iron Man's not as nimble as Black Widow, but yet he can fly. Black Widow, she has a grappling hook, but that's not going to help her get from point A to point B as smooth as Iron Man does. But Iron Man in a fight isn't going to exactly be able to pull off the counters that Black Widow does because she's just counter specialist. So it's one of those things to where as you're playing it, you'll know which character that you like to play as best, and you'll pick them for whatever missions that you go on and so forth. Now to the tragic part. First and foremost, I do want to say that some effort was put in to make it so that you didn't have to pay real currency for things. However, I will say, even though that effort was put in, I don't think it was put into the capacity it should have been put in. Let me explain. So, what we have is the hero pass, right? And this hero pass, as you see, looks just like a battle pass. You do certain things with the hero. You level up this pass, or you can just pay real money to level it up. Now, to be honest with you, and I'm going to just call spade spade, these cosmetics really ain't it. If I'm being honest, like there's nothing in there that I saw that I was like, yo, that's such a hot cosmetic, I gotta have it. And even if I felt that way, guess what? Like they really make you grind out to get the resources necessary to acquire a lot of these cosmetics, a lot of these high caliber cosmetics, is going to take some time. I really love Street Fighter V's onset in terms of how they dealt with that. If you play the game, you got fight money, and it didn't take a ton of fight money. I mean, maybe about an hour and a half worth of playing would get you enough fight money to get that cosmetic that you really, or to get you that DLC character rather, or a cosmetic. So what I'm saying here is that I like the effort put in to make sure that you don't have to pay real money to get that. Ultimately, it looks like it's going to take, 3 or 4, 6 hours to gain the necessary resources, because there's like 8 resources within the game to farm for. Now, a lot of levels are littered with resources to find, but I mean, shit, it's no guarantee that you're going to get the resource that you're looking for out of one of these boxes. It's all RNG. It doesn't make anything better. So I don't know if it was Square who was pushing this or who was pushing this, but greed has seeped into the game. And when something like that seeps in, it makes it really, really tough to champion it. Moving on from there, we have, like I spoke to the bugs earlier, I did have some bugs that occurred. I know everyone kind of is having like different things happen. But for me, it was mostly I'll wipe a room out and maybe I wiped the room out too fast, or I wiped the room out against like a wall and it wouldn't give me the okay, go ahead to the next objective. So I'd have to reload the checkpoint. That was pretty much the bug I ran into the entire game. I didn't have any other bugs. I know some people said people wouldn't render in and things of that nature. I didn't have that. That was the bug I ran into a lot of the game. And so much so that, I'm speaking about it now. I was not even going to speak about it, but then it happened like another couple times and it was like, yeah. The other tragedy of this game is this damn hub. This hub I thought was going to be pretty cool. The more you progress through the game, the more your hub becomes, alive. Like things start coming into the hub. And actually it's really cool. I'm not upset with the hub, but I'm upset with how you interact with certain things in the hub. When you originally come in here, they send you down to the harm room, which is the training room. And I thought, okay, cool. Like, you actually made me walk all the way down here to come into this room to let me know if I wanted to go do training. This is how I accomplish such a thing. No, that's not how you accomplish it. You actually have to go to the war table and then access the training through the war table. And it was like, wait, why did you make me walk all the way through this hub, all the way down these steps just to say, nah, you good. Like, just go to the war table. Like, wait, why did I do all that? I don't get it. And your hub is filled with, once again, like that greed. Like, you have these vendors in there who are looking for you to pay real money to get stuff. And when that, like I said, man, when you have, Destiny has one test eververse. Marvels Avengers has like 4 of them fuckers. So it's like when you got this many in this capacity, and it's so, there's not just your main hub, you do have a sub hub as well in the anthill. And they have vendors there wanting real money. So like I said, it's like kind of like, oh, hey, don't forget, give us real money, we got you. And it's like, all right, like I really don't need that in my face a lot. Okay. With that being said, though, there are some things that you can do. There are bounties that you can pick up and you can accomplish those bounties, and those do go towards your hero pass. So ultimately, like I said, you don't have to pay the real money for at least the hero pass portion of it. Now, like I said, for the resources, yeah, like it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind to get these things. And ultimately, greed has seeped into the game and it's tainted the well. And it's unfortunate because I think the game at its core is good, but the story, like I said, it's not that long. And so like when you do unlock certain characters, it kind of feels like you don't even get a lot of time to spend with them. Also, it's not like every character levels up off the XP over time. You have to play as each character to get them XP. So you do have to spend time with, if you want all your characters to be all right, like, I kind of like all my characters to be pretty much the same type of level, same gear level and all that. So ultimately, it's going to take me a little bit more time than someone who just says, I like the Hulk, I just want to play as the Hulk, and that's that, and that's all they run as. Cool. But ultimately, I wanted to kind of experience every single character, and when you get late game and you're unlocking these characters, and it's like, well, This character only has 3 skill points. I've gotten 10 with Kamala so far, so Kamala does have the better skill set at this point in time. But I really want to upgrade Black Widow's stuff. I'm gonna have to spend more time with her. To the end game, there is an end game. There is a multiplayer aspect in this game, and that's pretty much how the game rides out. You'll complete the campaign and ultimately be like, hey, do you want to level your character some more? Do you want to get better gear stats? Well, you can go back and run these missions, the same exact missions that you just ran, and you could just run them in the multiplayer aspect with other people. There are no new missions. I thought it was going to be Anthem, like in the sense of once you finish the campaign, okay, then you've unlocked dungeons, then you've unlocked strongholds and things of that nature. I really thought it was going to get kind of into that bag, but really, no, not at all. The other negative aspect to these missions that you have to go back and rerun is I got a message early on that said something to the effect of like, hey, you may run a mission, you may see that another hero is more suited for that mission, so you may want to back out, choose that hero and run it again. So I thought, oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool if it's kind of hero specific and all. Well, not necessarily hero specific, but this hero kind of was the one we envisioned to run this mission. And then you go in and you realize it's a fucking lie. Like, that was a pure lie. Like, it was, no, you can run any mission as any character. And although there is there is a good accessibility aspect in that, level design aspect really wasn't thought of in that term. Like, it wasn't something that you saw and you said, oh, okay, I see what they meant, because Iron Man could have just did this instead and it would have made it a hell of a ton easier. Or, oh, the Hulk could have just broke this wall instead of having to go through all this. So it just is like one of those things to where when you're looking at these things, it's like, well, I see the effort put in, I understand that, but it feels like a huge miss, especially when we're talking about Avengers. It like really pains me, as much of a Marvel fan that I am, to have to even do this damn review, because it just feels like a huge miss. It feels like I don't, without the Kamala Khan sections of the game, like, really help. There are a lot of deep analogies to like our current world in there, and I don't want to spoil any of them for you all because I do think they're deep. But at the end of the day, I paid $60 for this, and nah, like, it ain't that. It just is not a $60 game. So, like, in conclusion, I guess I enjoyed this game. It was entertaining, but at the end of the day, I think I expected a lot more. This was a game I really wanted to put in my game of the year conversation, and I won't put this shit anywhere near it. And so I don't know, I'm left with a really sour feeling. I think this is one of the few times with games I've been left with the sour feeling, just of like, I can't believe I paid for this. So I will say to anyone who wants to buy it, look, I think you really need to be an ultimate Marvel fan, because I was really, really hoping that when I saw multiplayer aspects that we were going to get some Marvel Ultimate Alliance vibes. I did not get that. There were no combos to be had, no nothing. So if you're looking for something Marvel Ultimate Alliance like, or you're hoping for something along those lines, do not look here. For $60, this is not the one. I mean, now if they knock it down to 30, I think, yeah, that'd be a good price for this at that point. If it's free on the PlayStation Network, I definitely would tell you to give it a shot then. But between everything and everything, 60, 50, too much in my book. 40 is pushing it, but if you got it for 40, I think you may have got something. But with a campaign that took me maybe 8 hours to beat, probably less, and a multiplayer that's super repetitive in terms of you're playing the same missions again, just looking for better gear. So there's no real challenge for you out. There's just no challenge. There's nothing. There's no super dungeon to go tackle with all this damn gear that you've been grinding for. You're grinding to beat up the same dumb ads that you beat up in the campaign or in a side quest. It's absolutely nuts, stupid, and hopefully that the DLC that they say is coming is something I just really hope is better. This review sucks. It really sucks to do. I hope that you all enjoyed my pain doing this. That thumbs up, that subscription button, and look back for a better video I get to post, because this one makes me unhappy. Hope this finds everybody in great health, peace, be easy, be blessed.